learning everything. It's just so overwhelming. There's so many different things that you can focus on to build your business, but more and more in collaborating with some other leaders. I've been collaborating with Jen Crowder a lot. Her and I have been like Zooming one-on-one and planning some things for the future. And it's been really motivating and eye-opening for me. She's been in the business for 1 year longer than me. And she's really, her and I are great at opposite things. So we're kind of teaching each other different tricks of the trade. And also talking to my upline, Carly, like, it just seems like more and more volume is truly like the point of focus that we really need to be paying attention, especially if we are interested in building a strong, deep foundation in our business. And so I want to make this like fun and exciting, because the really cool thing about volume is that it's not just like this boring subject that you're just sitting there in class and you're listening and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fall asleep. Like, it's super exciting because it's totally and completely up to you, like how this information that I'm going to share with you tonight impacts your life. Like, literally you can go from 0 to 60 and like start out with as somebody with no customers, and have this information that we're going to go over tonight literally change your life within a week, within 2 weeks. It really just depends on how deep your why is, how important it is to you, and how uncomfortable you're willing to get. And we've all done things that are uncomfortable in our life and have learned new things. For example, you learned, hopefully, to learn how to ride a bike, or how to swim in a pool, or how to walk even. We don't remember how scary it was when we learned how to walk, but eventually we learned how to walk and we never looked back. So it's the same thing with this business. There's a certain time where you get to a certain point and it's not as hard anymore. You don't have to worry so much about, oh my gosh, did I do my invites today? And did I talk to enough people? And did I follow enough people? Because your business is going to sustain itself. That's what our goal is, especially for those of you that are looking to do this as an actual job or a full-time thing. So that's why I'm super excited to talk about this tonight. So I just want to tell you that if you're nervous or you're overwhelmed by all of the stuff that you've learned so far in Beachbody, or you're a new coach listening to the recording, take a deep breath, because this is all really exciting and stuff that's going to help you in the future. So basically, volume can be broken up in 2 completely different categories, but essentially it just means it's a number that you accrue based on the work that you do. So there's 2 different volumes that we're going to talk about tonight, and it's PV and TV. Okay, we're going to start with PV. PV represents personal volume. Okay, this is volume that's generated by you or your customers only. So say you're a new coach, you've never talked to anyone before, and you sign up a customer. You're automatically going to accrue a number of volume for that order. So say somebody just ordered Shakeology. You're in your little pot over here, your little PV pot, you're going to gain 90 points. Okay. And then say a couple of days later, you sell a challenge pack. A challenge pack equals 135 points. So as you're a coach for a little while, you'll learn how much each thing represents. But let's just say in basics, the Shakeology is 90 and the base challenge pack is 130. So say you sell both of those in 1 week. 135 plus 90 goes into a pot. Okay. So that's your personal volume. The more you sell, the higher your PV gets. So this includes your own personal order. So your Shakeology, if you buy any performance line or workout apparel, plus the things that you sell. So this basically translates into being like your sales part of your business. The more you sell, the more you share, the more you connect, the more PV points you get. Those PV points translate to your 25% commission. So obviously, if you sell $160 challenge pack this week, you're going to earn the commission off of that. In order to have an active business, you always have to have at least 50 PV per month. Okay, so that's the bare minimum, 50. That's not even a box of Shakeology. So in order to be an active coach, you have to have something coming out of your account every month. And this is a really, really important thing because that translates into that you're following the vital behavior number one, which is being a product of the product. If you're not investing in any of our products, then how are you fully able to demonstrate to your customers and your followers what they need to be, or what they could be experiencing and what they need to be doing in the challenge groups and so on. So this requirement is actually really great because it holds you accountable to being a product of the product and using the products. And this is also why it's so awesome and exciting to shoot for your first goal of finding 3 customers, because once you get 3 customers on a challenge pack or on Shakeology auto shipment, every single time that auto shipment ships to them, you get paid X amount of dollars. It used to be $30 flat. I think it changed a little bit now. But hypothetically, let's just say it's $30 and you have 3 people that you signed up this month, you're going to get $90. And then say next month you keep those people on their Shakeology auto shipment and then sign up 3 more. That's, $90 that you already had from last month plus another 90 from this month, and that's going to add together. So retention is a really huge thing when it comes to PV. You want to talk to a lot of people, you want to stay consistent with your orders, and you also want to do a really good job at hosting accountability groups or adding your new customers into someone else's accountability group. That is something I've always offered on this team. However, I will say that if you really want to be a go-getter and you really want to build a strong team, then you should just open your first accountability group when you have your first 3 customers and just take it step by step. Even if you have to copy posts as like a template, or use one of the templates, or mirror what some of the other coaches are doing in their accountability groups, I say get your feet wet, dive in and figure it out, because challenge groups is another thing that you just have to dive in and just like you practice and it unfolds and you get better at it with time. So volume renews, personal volume renews every single week on Thursday. So you accrue volume all week from Thursday until Wednesday night at midnight. And then on Thursday, that's when you get your paycheck. So it's something to get really excited about. I look at my volume every single day. And that is an indication to me of, where I'm at in regard to my paycheck. You can actually kind of guesstimate what your paycheck's going to be. And if you know how to do that, then you also can motivate yourself. Say if it's Sunday, to be like, oh, I want to get another person this week or whatever. Also, what was I going to say? Something really important. Oh, so one of the things that I always was taught right off the bat is that your first goal for volume should be to try to achieve 200 volume per week. Because if you're achieving 200 volume per week, then that's a consistent paycheck that you'll be getting. It depends on what you sell, how big that paycheck will be. But if you get at least 200, you can assume that you are getting a paycheck. And then if you really want to be a leader on the team, shooting for 500 per week is a really great first run goal once you get your first few customers and coaches. So does that make sense to everybody? Okay. I'm going to move on to Total TV so that we can talk about all of this as a group, and then Taylor can show us like both of them. I don't want to super confuse you guys, but I think I'm going to tell you first and then show you. So Total TV is the total volume in a CBC. A CBC is like your business center. So basically all of the coaches in your network and their coaches and their coaches. So anyone that you signed up and they signed up after you signed them up is a part of your CBC. Once you get to 2-star diamond, you can open up another CBC, but we're not even going to talk about that tonight. That's a conversation for a different night. But the total in one CBC, so it's the sum of all volume generated from purchases made by all coaches and personal retail customers. So say, for example, you sign up and you have 2 coaches and they each have 2 coaches. All of the volume from all of your personal purchases and all of the volume from all of your customer purchases, depending on which leg you're on, is all added up, and that's the sum of your TV, your total volume. There are 2 legs in your downline, so you don't really have to worry about this until you start adding coaches, but you have a left leg and a right leg, and one of them is your strong leg and one of them is your weak leg. And so when you get to the point of signing up 2 coaches, you're going to want to reach out to your upline coach and have them explain to you what the difference is between the left and the right and why it's important to know that. That's also a conversation for another night, but it is important to know. And if you're interested tonight in learning all about legs, then you can just go to right and left leg FAQ in Google, and it'll explain all of that. But I don't want to confuse you guys too much. So all you need to know is that there's 2 legs and that you can build your team this way. So you build some of your coaches on the right leg, some of your coaches on the left leg. So the really cool thing about total volume is that sum, that number that you accrue each week on your right leg and your left leg equals a lot of income potential. So every time one of your legs is 100 and the other one is 200, which is a total of 300 TV, you cycle. So what that means is that once you're an Emerald coach, which means that you have 2 coaches on your team, you can cycle, which means that every time your total volume is a sum of 300, 200 on one side, 100 on the other, that's a cycle. You can get paid $14 as an Emerald coach. And then $16 as a Ruby coach, $18 as a Diamond coach. And what that basically means in like basic terms is that the more volume you have, the more times you get paid without even making a sale, just off of the volume that your team is contributing. And so the really cool thing about this is that if you're like, based on what leg you're on and how active all of the coaches on the team are on that leg, you can really, really benefit. This is truly a team business, because the more people we sign up and the more people we inspire as a team to get out of their comfort zones and talk to more people and sign up more people and teach the duplication process, the more volume grows on the leg. So for example, my strong leg has anywhere from 15,000 to 25,000 volume per week. And that's because of all of the coaches that are being added on that leg and where I was placed in the downline. Hey, Jessica.
Hey, girl.
So the more we all work together, the more potential that we have to cycle, and so on. So that's really the teamwork aspect of this business. And cycles really equal that paycheck that I referred to in the beginning of the call, where as long as your team is being consistent and they're hitting Success Club, which is helping at least 3 new people a month while keeping, their people still motivated and inspired and adding new coaches to the network, that's how you build your strong foundation. That's how you build deep. So you're probably sitting here like, okay, that's all well and good. Like, you told me what it is, but how do I achieve it? And the way that you achieve this is do exactly what we shared in that PowerPoint. I shared a PowerPoint a couple of weeks ago. It teaches you literally how to break down this business. Find 3 customers, then sign up 2 coaches. Go Emerald. Now teach your 2 coaches how to sign up 3 customers and 2 coaches, and then have them teach their customer to do it. It's just duplicating a simple process of 3 customers and 2 coaches, or, you know, the combination of maybe 2 customers and 1 coach per month, like 3 people minimum each month. If you really want to lead and you really want to be making a higher paycheck, you should be shooting for Success Club 10, which is 5 new people a month. And with time, that's going to grow as long as you're showing up, being a product of the product, and teaching your customers and coaches how to do that. So I'm going to open this up for questions or comments while Taylor goes and grabs her charger. And then I'm going to actually have her demonstrate where the heck you look at this in your back office. So does anyone have any questions or concerns or comments?
I actually have a question, and it's regarding legs. So maybe you already covered this. I missed some time. I got a little backtracked on making dinner.
You're okay.
Um, I watched a couple videos today, but I was still trying to find a clear answer as to um, which leg you're going to put, like your working coaches versus your discount coaches. So I was listening to Melanie Mitro, but she was actually saying like your first two coaches should go on your weak leg. And I was like, how do you get to Emerald if you're putting both coaches on the weak leg? It was really weird. So I don't know if she misspoke in the video I watched or not, but I was trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, it's a good question. So the leg that you're on in your coach's downline is your strong leg. So I'm like, for example, I'm on Carly's left leg. So my like when I want to build for income, I'm gonna put like someone that tells me that they really want to work the business, I'm gonna put them on my right leg. So really it comes down to asking your coach what leg you're on, and Jessica, you're on my right leg. So then you would put them on your left leg. It's the opposite leg that but it's different for everybody because everybody's possibly on different legs. So the reason you haven't found a clear-cut answer is that there is no straightforward answer for everyone. I definitely disagree with the comment on adding your first two coaches on the same leg. In fact, that's why Beachbody automatically puts one on the right and one on the left for you. And then after that, you actually have to go in and place them where you want them to go. But what I really recommend you guys, especially because I'm not going to lie to you, like, recruiting is definitely like the place that I'm really going to be focusing this year. I did recruit coaches last year and this year, but it's the one thing that it's like my frog every day. So it's something that I still am learning and practicing and so on. But I think that as a team, like in 2017 and 2018, like I didn't sponsor a ton of new coaches. So this is still like something that we're all kind of putting into action together as you start signing up coaches that are working and then they start signing up coaches that are working. So it's going to take a little practice. And what I mean by that is like, you might have to ask me questions like, hey girl, like so I'm on this leg, like what leg should I put her on? Because each and every one of you have a different scenario. So as a rule of thumb, ask your upline coach when you're ready to sign up a coach and you don't know what leg to put them on, and then we'll have like a personal conversation based on that. Does that make sense, Jessica?
Yeah, absolutely.
So everyone's strong leg and weak leg are different.
Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, so it just depends on where you are in the downline and what side you are on. Like in your coach's downline. So some of your strong leg is right, some of yours is left. So it just depends. So don't ever hesitate. Like, but I'm going to use Nicole as an example. Well, I'm going to use Nicole and Jessica as an example. Congratulations to both of you. You both signed up a coach this week, which is really exciting. So congratulations. You're both halfway to Emerald though. So whatever leg that coach went on, the next coach will go automatically on the other leg. But then like Nicole, because this is your first time in the business, like when you're ready to sign up a third coach, that would be a great time for you to reach out to me and be like, okay, girl, like this is going to be my third coach. Where should I put him? And then we can talk about your goals and what would be best for you and your goals.
Okay.
Good question, Jessica. Anyone else have another question or comment or even like something to add?
Well, I guess I don't know if this would apply to anybody on this call because, well, anyways, I know that they do say it's probably like too late for a lot of people, but like if some people immediately sign up their spouse or an account they can control, you want to put them on your weak leg like right away. But yeah, it's probably too late for most of us anyway.
I took a picture. Some of us, I don't even have my spouse signed up yet. So I think it's definitely worth sharing if you want to explain it, Taylor.
Well, a lot of people, especially some of like the bigger upline members who I think it's easier for them to do it than it would be for a lot of us to do it. But as soon as they sign up their spouse or mother or some other person that is like a second account that they can control. And then because of all this different volume things we're talking about, if they're put on your weak leg, like Janelle mentioned, and like I'll show you when I show you my back office, your strong leg, depending on like when you sign up, could have like thousands and thousands and thousands of volume, and your weak leg is the one that determines when you cycle. So if you're controlling your weak leg and like you purchase something on your spouse account that you also run is going to earn commission, but then your account above it is also going to get team volume for it, and then you'll cycle and get commission for it. So it's a way to like earn more income. But I mean, that account has to stay active, so that's 50 PV more that you have to spend every month to keep the account active and stuff. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Sorry if that wasn't clear.
Can I add something to that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good way to buffer your rank as well. I did this with John, although I haven't been using it the way that I originally signed him up, because I don't want a buffer and I want coaches. I want real coaches and I want my real rank. But if you are building and you're finding that someone tells you that they're a working coach, but it doesn't work out that way and they're struggling and you don't want to have to rely on that person, you can have your spouse under that account. And if you're, say you're Emerald and one of them are about to drop rank or not hit and you're going to lose that, I'm not making sense here. You can purchase something to get your PV so that coach is active so that you hold your Emerald rank. Does that make sense? You just use it. You don't even have to like make it an active account every single month, but if it's something that you want to just use as a buffer, then that way you know you're not going to drop. You can use it that way as well.
Yeah, I would say that's one of like the main reasons too. Like a lot of people do it just to get to their rank, but I think even more importantly, it's to buffer. Like I know a couple, well, even when I first started, like I actually did have Paul signed up, and then I ended up canceling him because I put him on the wrong leg. But it's nice to know that like, if just like you said, but also like if you're shooting for a big goal or something and you know that like one of your coaches is going to cancel their shakes or something, you could always control and make sure that you keep that rank. And then if the person on the other leg goes inactive, you can either work really hard and hustle and find someone new, or at least you know that if you get that one more person, or you like beg your cousin to sign up so you don't lose your rank that night, like you can hold it solid with your spouse or your mom or your sister or something like that. So thank you for sharing that, Kristen.
And similarly with like if you're trying to go diamond, I've seen a lot of people go diamond by using their spouse's account for one of the emeralds.
Here's the deal. Like if you know you're a hard worker, you can have your spouse on your strong leg, or I'm sorry, on your weak leg, and you can build them to diamond. That's what, I mean, a lot of 2-star diamonds do that. I know that Carly does not have Sean signed up, so I was always taught from the get-go that it is good to do like in a pinch, but if you're like rocking the business and you don't necessarily need to do it, to kind of like save it until you need it. I know that Nikki Whiting's like husband has his own CBC, but she built it. So if you feel like you're really hardworking and you feel like you know that you're recruiting and you're flowing and you can add that many more coaches, you can build your spouse or your mom or whoever to diamond. But remember, that's going to take away from your like success club points and your volume and stuff like that. So it's really a give and take, and it depends on in the moment what's more important. Is it the income? Is it the rank? Like so many different things come into play, but just overall, like you can control part of your downline by signing up your spouse, especially if you want your spouse to like hop on the bandwagon with you and be healthy with you and use like Shakeology and be a part of the lifestyle. Then it's a benefit because that Shakeology isn't going to pile up or go to waste. Thank you guys for all of your input. Do you want to add anything, Jessica?
No, that was it.
Okay. Does anyone go ahead?
Sorry. No, but I do find it like pretty easy to keep him active because I eat beach bars and like drink Energize and stuff. So like 50 PV is like so simple as long as I stay on Shakeology regularly. So I
Yeah,
have,
and even if you want to purchase like a prize for your like challengers, like
yeah, like
you
the
can even use that
bottle.
account. Exactly. So Taylor, if you wouldn't mind, can you just share your screen and just show everybody like hypothetically what you would do if you were looking for your PV? Like, could you start on the normal like screen and then go to monitor your business and like kind of walk them through how to find it? I think you're muted.
Yep. Okay. I found it. I was like, I don't know how to unmute myself because I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So this is what everyone's homepage looks like. If you don't go in your office every day, you should make it a habit. Just saying. You know where you are, like certain things happen all the time. You get all this. This is how I know what's going on because they post all this news and stuff all the time. But from this very, very first page, there's two, I don't know why I'm doing four. There's two different ways that you can look at your volume. And I look at both because they give you different information. So you can click on all these over here if you didn't know that. But here's, can you guys see this? Okay. So my right leg is obviously my strong leg, and you can see I have 25,000 volume on that side. And so my left leg is my weak leg, and that's my income driving leg, because when I get team volume for the coaches that are signed up on my weak leg, that's when I'm going to cycle. So it's like my cycles are completely dependent on this left leg. Like as long as I stay at Emerald rank, I'm going to cycle whenever my left leg hits 100, because I really don't even have to worry about the right leg, which is kind of nice. And
Girl, you have like a gold mine.
I know, but it's like I just am so dependent on my other coaches that, yeah, it's crazy. If they start killing it, I'm going to get like a million cycles. So
Taylor, all you need is one or two coaches that are like hungry. That's all you need. Crazy. Yep. All right, keep going.
So then there's my team volume. Oh, hold on, this little screen is in the way. There's stuff in the way. My team volume and my carryover volume are two other things. Oops. You can get to this screen also by going to monitor my business and going to team volume. We'll get you to this page too.
Oops. This is the page that I look at the one that you were just at throughout the week, like to see where I stand and if I'm hitting the 200 or the 500 mark.
Yep.
So
I'm obviously not having a very good week, but last week was pretty good. So if you click into it, you can see exactly which of your customers are your volume is coming from. And you'll also notice too that this PV is the 90, the 135 that Janelle was talking about. But when you go into the actual like team side, so left volume and right volume, you can see what everyone else is doing too. And like if you click in one, for example, this is someone's personal order.
This is why it's like a team thing too.
Yeah. So sorry, Jessica, I clicked on yours, but we can kind of see what, I don't know if people like that, but you can see what people order. And the amount of volume that I see right here for that is 60. But Jessica, if you look in your back office, it's probably more because PV is more than TV.
Yeah, it should be a lot more. But yeah, I never understood that.
And if you look in your office right now, it's going to be way more than 60.
Huh.
But see, there's Nicole, and you could see that
sorry.
she signed someone up. Like that's just an example of how the volume is a team thing. So that's why, like, when we're like striving each month, like we're impacting like the entire team, and that's why it's so fun to like work together and hop on power hours or go to Summit and like really just get excited about everything, because we really truly are like impacting everyone. Like Kristen Wheeler, I'm pretty sure is my coach, like, and that's her monthly Shakeology. So that yep. like went into Taylor's volume for the week.
Yeah, and so you can this is all. So this is obviously the strong leg over here is right, and then the left leg. These are from my personally sponsored coaches. Is where this stuff comes, and then this was my own. So, is there anything else you wanted me to show, Janelle?
When you said, what did you just say about your personally sponsored coaches? Were you clicking on that one?
Well, I can. Yeah. So
No. I'm saying
this is my left leg is only mine. That's how I know that. That's my weak leg.
Okay. So if you can unshare the screen, and then I want to know if anyone has any questions, because I know it could be super confusing at first, but I promise you, if you're the type of person that just needs to read through, you just go into all I did to prepare for this call, and I can even take a screenshot of this if you want. I just typed into Google personal volume FAQ, if you want to write that down, and then I typed in team or total volume FAQ. It broke down all of it for me and explained it to me. So if you're the type of person that's better learning that way, but basically all this translates into, sorry, this keeps, I don't know, I'm on an iPad and I don't know how to quiet it, so I apologize, but all it translates into is that there's a lot of potential right here. Every single person has the same 24 hours in a day. Every single coach has the same resources. Some coaches are a little bit, oh my gosh, why does it keep doing that? I'm so sorry. I don't know how to, I'm going to have to get out of Zoom and shut Facebook down to make that stop. But if you could just ignore it, please, I appreciate it. Every single person has the same opportunity sitting in front of them. The people that are successful are the people that see the opportunity for what it is and run. Taylor, if you don't mind, can you go into Be Misfit, the post that I posted or that I tagged you in, can you share the screen and share that post? Because I just want to show you guys how much opportunity you really have to figure this out. Carly actually posted a reverse engineer post today that breaks down what it looks like to cycle X amount of dollars. So say you want to make $200 a week with volume. That means without even having to make any of your sales. It'll show you how much volume you have to have on each leg. And then it goes down or it goes up. So it tells you how much you have to do, how much volume you have to accrue to make $500 a week, $1,000 a week. So if you see here, it says $200 weekly. Your weak leg needs to be at 1200 TV, which we just learned what that is. And your strong leg must be at 2400 TV to make $200 in a cycle. And that what that translates into is at least, being an emerald and probably having 2 coaches that are at least signing up customers and stuff like that.
Right. And this is only for cycle income, not for any sales.
Right. So this is making 200 weekly plus in addition, anything else that you sell or when your Shakeology ships out. So that's why signing up coaches and then just teaching them the basics is so important. And then as you go down, I'm not going to go through it all, but you can find this post in Be Misfit. It tells you exactly what to do. It even says it gives you a paragraph that explains exactly what to do to get there. And then $1,000 a week. And it just shows you, exactly what is possible with this business. And it keeps going down to 3,500 and anybody can achieve that 3,500 weekly with just 3 coaches that want to work the business. If you can unshare, please. Thank you. Just get 3 people and teach them to be as hungry and motivated as you. Continue rocking the business yourself and teach them how to do it. Mirror each other, work together. Your volume is just going to keep growing. That. It's that simple. It's finding 3 to 4. They say you can have a 6-figure business with just 5 people that are extremely interested. So look at right here on this call. There's more than five people here and a lot of us have really big goals. So think about duplicating that and finding 5 people of your own and then just teaching them what you're doing. That's what it breaks down to. So get 5 people to diamond. So get diamond yourself by finding 8 people or whatever and then help them. And that's just as you go down the line in your business. Obviously not on month 1, month 2, whatever. But that's what the potential is with volume. And I know that it's something that we haven't talked about in a while, and there's a lot of new faces. So I'm going to open it up for discussion for the last few minutes, or for any of the leaders that have been around for a long time to add any other comments or like inspiration, because I know it could be one of those subjects that's like, huh?
I don't mean to be rude, but it's going to kick us off. It says less than a minute.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Does anyone have anything? Any questions? You could always comment in the Zoom link if you have any questions, and any of us can reach out, or if you have a specific question for anyone that spoke tonight, please just reach out to them. I'm sure that everyone's happy to answer any questions. And thank you so much for being on. I hope I didn't confuse you guys. No, we good? Okay, awesome.